Adventures! I'm on my way. Woo! Oh yeah! Oh yeah! And it's a beautiful day. A beautiful little Wednesday. On my way to Nerdventures Tower, and damn, we've got a lot to get into. Yesterday was pretty packed with crazy MCU news. Seemingly, a lot of bad news. A lot of delays. And yet, I saw something pretty curious. Most fans, a lot of fans, actually rejoicing, actually excited about the news. That's pretty wild. So we're going to break it down. We're going to get into it. We're going to share our thoughts and feelings. This show, today, the stream we're about to do, 100% guaranteed to be bananas. 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 I'm pulling into the tower. I'll see you in a second. Bananas. You see what I did there? Bananas. That shit is bananas. And so is this shirt. Let's go! Dad joke of the day. Just to get you warmed up, to get you started. Yeah! What's up, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well, man. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be a good stream. Thank you, as always, for being here. Do me a favor. Smizash the Lizike on the video. That's like... do it. Okay? I don't want to get in a fight. I don't want to get angry. I don't want to freak out. But just do it. You know what I mean? I don't ask a lot of you guys, okay? I just ask for constant support. Emotional support, putting up with all my bullcrap, sending in 1 million super chats, having membership, liking all the videos, watching a video 6 different times and liking them on separate accounts, going into your sister's room, your grandma's room, slapping them up, grabbing the phone, the iPhone, get onto the stream, like the stream, make them a Nerdventure. Don't think about it too much. So I don't ask for a lot. Do me a favor. Smash the like. Actually, I'm feeling really good today. I'm feeling incredible. Let's do it a little bit differently. How about this? Don't smash the like. Caress the like. You know? Just come up to it and give it a little caress. How about that? How about that? Yeah, give that a shot. Everybody's saying that Andor is good. Yeah, so okay, let's talk about that for a little bit. Let's talk about that before we get into the Marvel news, okay? So I did notice, to my surprise, that Andor was actually trending this morning, and there were actually people talking about it. It's pretty wild. Pretty wild. And I wanted to show you that I put up a tweet And we're going to get a little interactive with the class here. Because I want to show you this. I think it's kind of cute. Kind of cute. So I said on Twitter earlier this morning, okay, people seem to really like Andor Episode 6. I stopped watching, and that's true. I haven't watched the episode from last week. But would love a good reason to check this one out. Pitch me why I should watch it here. And we've actually got a pretty good amount of pitches here. Okay, so I'll go through this and kind of give you my thoughts on the different pitches. You guys let me know on your end. Mo, right on, brother. Let me know what you think about these different pitches, and we'll go through them briefly before we get into the other news. Okay. So Andre says, "I'll give you a damn good reason, then you'll know what happened in the episode." So I feel like he was ready to spoil it or some shit here. Okay. Story picks up pretty quick. Action is phenomenal. Damn good shootout ensues. Some mother effers don't make it, but we feel the shit really did kick off, meaning they may have dealt a blow enough to make the Empire worried, and the TIE fighters go boom in a quadruple rainbow meteor shower. I mean, that's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I like this one a lot. The Italian job, but in Star Wars. That's good. Oh my God, it was awesome. Pretty good, pretty good. Bro, it's insane. Just give it another shot. I know you hate Star Wars right now, but if more shows and movies wind up like this, then I think Star Wars could be in a good place to pivot into success. So, I mean, look, obviously, I don't know exactly what he's talking about there. It's not really doing it for me. You know what I mean? Because I actually don't like what the show's presenting. But that's fair. There was another one that was really, really good. Okay, this one right here. It has one of the best cinematic shots I've ever seen in Star Wars. Theory said the same. That's intriguing. That's intriguing. Chat, if you watched Andor, do you agree? Does it have one of the best cinematic shots that you've ever seen in Star Wars? Like, should I watch this episode? Should I watch this episode? Wow. A lot of people saying yes. Okay. Okay. A lot of people saying yes. That's pretty interesting. Okay, let's see here. Where else? Heist is high stakes. Andor kills somebody for no reason. Intriguing. A few members of the rebellion team die. Intriguing. The sky looks pretty. Okay. TIE fighters get a glimpse of the Senate's capacity / state. Empire is about to take action. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Masma says, I was worried because it was bad because it wasn't trending, and then I got triggered by that, of course. Special cameo of Kevin Feige doing a cake stand as the festival is going on. I'm all in. Okay, please help me out here. I'm all in on that. Is that good? Is that really happening? Does that really happen? It's too hard without spoiling it, Josh. You'll just have to trust the fans. Oh, God. Josh just needs some to talk about. Come back to Star Wars. I know, right? Okay. Best directed and shot episode of Disney Plus show to date. Quality. I like that. That's pretty good. The Jedi who saved Andor. Great lightsaber duel. I'm all in. I'm all in on that shit. I'm all in on that shit. I do have the member chat window open. Thank you, Mike. Okay, cool. So there's lightsabers in this one? Tell me, yes or no? Is it lightsabers in this one? Because it's a story. 3 episode arcs with the action-packed finale. I haven't even seen 6 yet, but 3 was fire, 4 was amazing, 5 was decent. Okay. Come back. Luke Skywalker goes back in time, kills Andor, cuts off Palp's hand, and becomes the new Emperor. It's wild. Okay. I am all in. Wait, no Jedi? Holy shit. Okay, well, that's a bummer. How about this, though? Is this real? Luke Skywalker going back in time to kill Andor, cutting off Palpatine's hand and becoming the new Emperor? Because I'm all in on that shit. I'm all in on that shit. Yeah! Is that true? Is that true? Because that seems dope. That seems dope. Okay, so this is kind of the cool shots. Cool shots, okay. I like this one. GTA heist vibes, tense AF, unexpected twists. That's a good logline. That's good. Great pacing, and Gilroy went to film school. Okay. Not right. This is probably the best one, and this is why I'll actually watch this episode. Stuff happens. Holy shit. Stuff actually happens? Wow. Wow. Okay. All right. I might be on board. I might be on board. I think it's I think it might be time. I think it might be time for all that. Okay. Cool. Cool. Stuff happens. That's exciting. That's exciting stuff. Fuck that shit. Doesn't feel like Star Wars. I agree. But, you know. You'll still have to watch episode 5 first, right? I don't think so. What do you guys think? Do you think I absolutely have to watch episode 5 of this fucking Bore Fest before I watch 6 or no? I'll let the chat guide my decision. Yeah, see? Nah. Yeah, everybody's saying the same thing. Skip that shit, bro. Okay, a couple people are saying yes. Arthur. Skip it. Yeah, done with Star Wars? I think it's been addressed more the past week than the previous one. Hey, maybe. You don't say that. You don't say that. Okay, anyways. A couple of things I want to say show notes wise, okay? We are going to have a stream today at 1 p.m. for the Nerd Vengers, and I think it's going to be a fun stream, man. I want to share a little tea with you guys. I want to talk about my comic book a little bit and share some fun, exciting stuff like that. So come on by at 1. We'll also do a Diamond Lounge stream Friday night. 5 p.m. I'm going to open up the Diamond Lounge. If you are a Diamond member, if you have a Diamond badge as a Nerd Venger and on, come on by at 5. We're going to have a couple drinks, going to have a couple smokes. We'll get into some... We'll do what we do in the Diamond Lounge streams. They're always a really good time. So they're really chill. If you are a Diamond member, come on by. They're a very adult stream. I wouldn't bring your kids, you know what I mean? But, you know, come on into the Diamond Lounge Friday at 5 p.m. We'll have a good stream for you there. Okay, so yesterday, pretty wild bit of news. Now, we have a video coming out later today all about the Spider-Man story and the Spider-Man 4 rumors. It's really cool. That's going to be a very fun video for you guys to get into. We also did work on a very fun video yesterday that's all about a theory that's been blowing up like around about how Captain America will come back in Secret Wars. It's a really cool theory. It's a great video, but there was so much news that happened yesterday that I felt like if we just released that video yesterday, it would have got buried. Like, people just would have been more interested in, like, the MCU delays and also the Spider-Man story. So the Spider-Man video will hit today. Maybe that Captain America theory video will hit tomorrow, but regardless, we have a ton of fun videos on the way for you. So you first had the Spider-Man news. That's really cool. I'm excited about that. Then the first thing I think that came out was about Blade. And following up on the Blade story, you basically had this announcement that Marvel's pushing a ton of stuff back. Like a ton of stuff back, okay? And it's wild because normally in these circumstances, these are seen as L's. These are seen as negative things, right? So anytime a studio puts something on a date, right? Like when they date a project, like that's a big deal, right? Like they don't just do that willy-nilly. Now, granted, Marvel, especially coming out of the pandy, but with Spider-Man as well, they did like move things around, and studios have been a little bit more apt at moving things as far as for a business perspective. But I personally found it to be kind of odd yesterday that the story begins with this Blade business, and then you sort of hear coming out of that all of these other projects are going to be delayed as well. And the thing that really shocked me about this was the actual positivity that came from the fan base in regards to this announcement, okay? And I think the biggest sort of hidden delay here, or the thing that I think is actually the most significant, is Secret Wars moving into 2026, essentially recreating that 1 year time gap that you had between Infinity War and Endgame. And I think, to me, the reason that's so crazy is because they just announced at San Diego Comic-Con that Secret Wars and Kang Dynasty would both come out in a single year. Okay? So we'll get into that, and we'll talk about why I think that's so significant, because it is. But at the same time, let's just start with generally seeing, are you guys positive on these delays or negative on the delays? So let's go to poll time. Let's go to the polls. Let's go to the polls. Are you positive on these delays? I want to know. I want to know how you feel. Positive, hoping the films will be good. Delays are okay if it means the product is better. Meh, date means nothing anymore until the film is wrapped. Interesting. Depressed, Mo says. Hey, Mo, I somehow found myself on your Instagram page earlier. I think maybe I saw that you saw my story or something like that. I think that's you. And I listened to one of the raps that you had on there. It sounded pretty good, actually. I was like, damn, that's pretty good. I'd rather it be delayed than good than... Yeah. Why did they even announce dates anymore? Interesting take. I mean, they do it to set expectations. Quality control. I think you're probably right. Yep. Sometimes. Completely down if it makes a return to the hype product of Phase 3. Right. So this is what's so interesting to me, right? You look at it right now, and it's about 80% of people that have voted so far that are positive on the news. If you look at what people are saying in chat right now, it's positive on the delay. If you look at what people are saying on Twitter, it's people positive about the delays. And I think this is so crazy because we're getting to a point with the MCU, and I really do believe that the news yesterday allowed many, serious, real-ass conversations to happen across the internet with regards to Marvel and with regards to the Disney Plus shows and to kind of the lack of quality. And it kind of feels like damn near all the Marvel fans are all saying the same thing, and that is that this is good because Marvel A needs a slowdown. There was a little bit too much Marvel too fast. There were a lot of doubts that they could actually make Secret Wars as good as Secret Wars needs to be in that same 3-year time gap. And the thing that I think is so wild about this is that there were a lot of fans that couldn't actually say or I do content a lot. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you knew this or not, but I make content, right? And I've been making a lot of content recently about how Marvel's kind of slipping and about how Marvel needs to change things. But also, I'm very positive on the fact that I believe Feige is changing things. But when I make those videos, right, and some of them are crushing right now, right? The last one we did is dominating. It's a great video, and people seem to really like it, and they're engaged in it. But I get a lot of Marvel fans that kind of give me this, everything's fine. Feige doesn't need to fix anything. There's nothing to fix, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I'm talking about. You feel that energy, right? Of a ton of different Marvel fans that, they just want to defend to the end of days. They can't, meet me halfway when I'm there's some things they're screwing up, et cetera, et cetera. And yesterday showed me that those same people, in my opinion, are actually able to point out the positivity of this delay And this delay has allowed them to admit the feelings they had, and the feelings they had are actually the feelings that we've all had. Does what I am saying right now make sense? Peyton Moore, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You are a Nerdvenger now. What I'm saying is, a bunch of these people couldn't actually admit, yeah, things are a little rushed, things are a little wacky right now. They couldn't agree with the videos that I've been making and the statements I've been making, and yet they're positive on the delays because they can now admit that there are quality control concerns. It's crazy. I mean, fuck, I don't really care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't need like people to agree with me, but it's nice to know I'm not crazy, and it's, I hope, enlightening to these folks, at least at some level, that they can be like, oh, shit, maybe the reason I'm okay with this delay is because I too share some of the concerns of oversaturation, of Feige being stretched too thin, of the visual effects artists not being given enough time, of the fact that it's too much of a factory over there and we're not actually making like must-watch shows and television anymore. Do you know what I mean? Right? So I find that so fascinating. Now, regardless of how we got here, it's fucking cool to be sitting at a place now where basically I believe Feige, and this is really opinion based. This is opinion. This is speculation, right? But I kind of believe that this delay was Feige again listening to the audiences out there. I do believe that this delay in a lot of ways is Feige actually pumping the brakes, because I don't actually think there's a reason, like there's not a direct causality between Blade losing its director and Mahershala Ali being very frustrated with the movie and having to delay Secret Wars by whatever they delayed it, pushing it into a following year, right? There's not a direct link there, at least not as far as we all understand, because we're like, yo, whatever, like that thing should be fine. Whoever the director of Secret Wars likely to be Coogler is going to be, like, he's done basically with Wakanda Forever. He's got to do some press, etc., and then he can kind of get to work, right? They already have the guy that's doing the script, Michael Waldron, who I absolutely love. Some of you guys don't. I get it. So there's no real reason for that movie to be delayed unless the story that Jeff Snyder talked about, I think it was 2 weeks ago, when the story first broke that Blade lost its director. Okay, do you guys remember? Most of you guys were here, right? Put a 1 into the chat if you were here when we first discussed the Blade movie news. We did a video about it. We talked about it in the stream. Jeff Snyder basically said in his reporting about that it was pretty obvious that Kevin Feige was stretched too thin. And a lot of us were like, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I can buy it. I think it's pretty obvious that that's true. And it's possible, although I haven't heard anything about this, right? It's possible that he actually had a conversation with Mahershala Ali that kind of enlightened him to this fact, and he realized that he needs to kind of push back against the sort of factory desire of Disney, and actually take his time and make these movies and products good. The other thing that I think is kind of crazy about this is that kind of made me think, and it gave me this idea, and I watched a lot of people's different takes about this yesterday. I really do feel that maybe the biggest thing that actually hurt Marvel was the Disney Plus shows. That essentially Marvel was doing great, being incredible, doing its thing, and then streaming happened. And at first, the prospect of creating streaming content for Marvel Studios probably seemed cool, but frankly, either their reach has exceeded their grasp, it doesn't work within Feige's system, or they need to slow down on that shit too. Right? Because, and again, you know what's so cool about this is that maybe 2 days ago, I couldn't have had this same conversation and have as many of you be chill about it. Right? Because just the truth is some of y'all are wound up tight. And when I say like, oh man, I don't know about these Disney Plus shows, I think She-Hulk is remarkably bad. Some of you guys get triggered or whatever because you want to defend it or you think I'm a hater or whatever, right? But like now it feels like all that pressure's off and we can actually just diagnose these issues. I don't know. It seems like fucking cathartic, to be honest with you. And content and Marvel and modern fandom and all of these things are constantly changing. I think it's appropriate that Feige and Marvel Studios go through this first run at trying to make Disney Plus content, trying to make streaming content, and understanding and learning through that process. Maybe some of this doesn't work. Maybe other things would work. Like, you know, Werewolf by Night, for instance. I think Werewolf by Night was mostly regarded very highly by people that watched it. I don't know that we know the numbers of people that actually did watch it or whatever. Maybe it crushed it. Maybe it didn't do so hot. I'm not sure. But I think from a quality control perspective, a lot of people really, really liked Werewolf by Night as compared to a lot of the Disney Plus shows like Hawkeye, like Miss Marvel, like I would argue even Moon Knight, even though Moon Knight's probably the best in that bunch. And of course, of She-Hulk. Right? Even that show, though, even that special feature is actually not that dope compared to what it could be. Right? We've heard that originally it was supposed to be longer. We've heard that the actor had a lot of trouble in the suit, and therefore they had to cut a bunch of it. They couldn't film all the things they wanted to do in the suit. So even that project was not to the quality that maybe you would expect from Marvel, especially like in that phase 3 period when they were just putting out absolute bangers after banger. But the format itself, right, of doing the special feature, I mean, I don't know. I kind of think like a hour and a half, 2 hour She-Hulk special feature done in the vein of a funny comedy fourth wall breaking show may have been much better, right? Same thing with Hawkeye. Like legitimately, I feel like Hawkeye being a 2 hour or 1.5 hour thing maybe is the way, right? And so I think that like the history of Marvel is still being written. Streaming is obviously changing the game. It's hard to say. I mean, I can't really sit here and say that Marvel has really made any kind of an impact on the streaming stuff. I mean, I would say, you know, things like Stranger Things, Netflix, that legacy, even Amazon to a degree, HBO Max. I think maybe you could argue Mandalorian because it essentially launches Disney Plus and creates a windfall of attention. But other than that, there has not been a Marvel Disney Plus or a Marvel streaming thing that has really affected the streaming the way that some of these other big shows have, right? Maybe all of this stuff is just kind of coming to a head. And Feige's basically realizing we definitely need to pump the brakes. And perhaps because of giving it a fair shake over the past couple of years, he can like whatever, like go to Chapek or whatever and be like, hey man, we're going to need some time. I mean, if they could give Kathy Kennedy 3 years to do nothing and not come up with an idea for new Star Wars movies, and like, I know that wasn't Chapek, like that was Iger, but I'm saying like, if you can let Star Wars take a 3, which is going to turn into 6-year break, I think, from movies, you can give Feige like 2-3 shows a year max and 3 movies a year max. Do you know what I'm saying? Right? So, again, like, I just find it so interesting that we're kind of, like, able to be here. We're able to have this conversation. But now, let's talk about the actual movies that were delayed and where they're going, okay? So, first, let's talk about Blade. It'll be moving from November of next year to September of 2024. Okay. Now, the big reason here is because the script is due. Mahershala Ali's really frustrated with this process, and they're going to rewrite it from scratch. And I think Blade will be fine, but y'all remember when I said a couple of weeks ago when we talked about this that I believe Mahershala Ali wants to have a movie. He wants to have his Spider-Man No Way Home, basically. Like, the way in which that Spider-Man No Way Home and in turn Deadpool 3 are not just going to be like Deadpool and Spider-Man movies, but like are going to be epic, incredible, like huge pop Marvel movies. That's what Mahershala Ali wants. Let me ask you guys a question. Did you think that's what he was going to get? Like, when you heard that Mahershala was going to be Blade in 2019, what kind of a movie did you expect? Did you expect it to be like that hype beast kind of thing? Or did you expect more of like a character-driven actor, you know, kind of performance thing? Like, what did you guys think was going to happen? Yeah. Yeah, so I think there was probably a misunderstanding here. Right. I think most of us, and, you know, not everybody's the same here, but from what I'm seeing in the chat, honestly, both, that's fair. I think a lot of people were like, oh, dude, Blade, Mahershala Ali, it's going to be so cool. But we expected just to have a Blade movie, first entry, you know, issue number 1, that, yeah, would be incredibly well acted. That would show him as Blade, and it would be dope. But I don't think any of us expected it to be Blade fucking No Way Home, 6 different Blade variants, and he's taking on everybody, you know? Real OG Sire, welcome to the Nerd Ventures at the Prime level. Appreciate you. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like we all thought, and probably Feige as well, oh shit, Mahershala Ali's going to do Blade. That in and of itself is going to be sick, but we're not going to like back the money truck up. We're not going to make a $200-300 million Blade movie. And I think the reason he was, because he had just won his second Oscar. So I think like Mahershala's sitting there being like, I could do whatever I want at this point, which is true. Like, he just won his second Oscar. He's fucking awesome. He could have done whatever he wanted. He chose to reach out to Marvel Studios. I think he personally feels, mostly because of his sort of actor status and all of the hype that is created, you know, by that, he felt like by bringing that to the table, and thank you, Elijah, I will go over that in a second, like, by bringing all that to the table, it would then in turn make it so he would have this dope, awesome, incredible movie. Right? So I think there's probably just a fucking mix-up there because, like, much love to Mahershala, but us nerds don't give a fuck about the little golden lady statues or whatever they are. We don't care, bro. Like, legitimately don't care. You know, the first comic book movie ever to win an Oscar? Fucking Suicide Squad. For costuming, and that was a slap in the face. That was an underhanded slap in the testicles. Because the theatrical cut of David Ayer's Suicide Squad is booty cheeks, dude. We don't care. Quentin says he cares. Fine. There's some people that care. In fact, if you care, let me know. Chat, make sure you ban all these motherfuckers that say they care about this, because it's going to look real bad. It's going to look real bad for me if a bunch of them do. Just get them out of... Just fucking get them out of here. Anyway, yeah, like I said, we don't care about little golden statues. So I think it's like a mix-up. It's a mismatch. It's a misunderstanding. But also, I think Feige may realize that where he is currently at with the MCU is a totally different place than where he was at in phase 2 and 3 of the MCU. And he can't just rely on comic book character anymore. I think he does have to go after some sort of hyped picks, which kind of makes sense when you hear about like the caliber of people they're going after for the Fantastic Four. Apparently, like the Harrison Ford Red Hulk thing, I mean, we don't know if it's actually going to happen, but it's at least real that they're looking at it. That should just show you, like, where Feige's head is at. Like, Harrison fucking Ford? Are you kidding me? As the Red... Like, that's what I'm saying is, like, they are... I feel like Feige is learning a lot. I have a lot of respect for the dude because I think that at the time of Phase 2, he did learn a lot. He took a lot of harsh criticism. I remember there's a story in Bob Iger's book about how Steve Jobs called Bob Iger directly to tell him how bad Iron Man 2 sucked. And then he went to Feige with that, and they all talked about it. Feige's at least enough of... Like, he's at least smart enough to, like, understand criticism and shift. I really feel like he shifted spectacularly in the middle of Phase 2 and into Phase 3. So Blade. What do I think of Blade? I feel like Blade's probably going to be a sick-ass fucking movie now, dude. Like, if Mahershala doesn't walk away from that project, it will be because Feige is actually finally putting actual attention and effort into that film. And I think this X-Men 97 writer, dude, I imagine he is a big sweaty nerd. And I imagine he will deliver an awesome and incredible product because the story is, and we don't know. But the story is that the reason the director's gone is because Mahershala looked at the script and he was like, I wouldn't even wipe my ass with this. And then the director was like, I've got a few ideas on how to fix it. And Mahershala was like, please let me know. And then this dude came up with some of the most whack, ridiculous, asinine ideas you've ever heard. And Mahershala Ali actually drop kicked him out of a window. Allegedly. I don't know for sure. But I feel like he drop kicked that dude literally out of a window. So, with that being the context, I can imagine that this Blade script better be real good because this dude's probably like, I don't want to get drop kicked out of a window. Okay, so you see what I'm saying? I think Blade probably going to be a much better, more hyped up film now. And again, it's so fucking weird. Okay, I'm a little all over the place today. We're a little ADD. Okay. But here's the point. Mahershala's feelings are kind of what our feelings are. Now, granted, we didn't think Blade was going to be titties, but we are kind of feeling like the MCU is slacking. The MCU needs to bring that heat. They need to have better, more, like, you can't not watch it. You've got to check it out. Holy shit, did you hear about this? Like, hype, and dopeness. And that kind of feels like what Mahershala Ali wants out of the Blade project. So I think it's a win-win for fans as long as it actually gets pulled together and becomes a dope movie. Okay. So that's moving into 2024. Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman's Deadpool 3, which formerly held that spot, is now going to be bowing in theaters on November 8th, 2024. So this project is taking the Fantastic Four's date, the one that the Fantastic Four originally had, I believe. How do you guys feel about this? Because I kind of like this. Yeah, it's just 2 months. Yeah. I kind of like this. I like this because I think this movie is going to be massive. I also think this kind of gives them just a little bit more time to try to shore up some cameos, to have a little bit more time with the shooting schedule so you could bring other actors or actresses in because of their schedule conflicts, etc., etc. I like this for Deadpool 3. I like Deadpool 3 as a sort of, holiday-esque movie, holiday season, end of the year movie. I kind of like it. Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I think generally speaking, this is kind of good. You know what I mean? This is kind of good. Yeah, I don't think that one's too bad, huh? Now, this one's pretty interesting. Fantastic Four. Now debuting February 14th, 2025. So, a couple of reasons why I think this is weird. Number one, I was pretty sure that 10 Rings, the sequel to Shang-Chi, was actually going to have this date. Now, this is a rumor and kind of a story that we still don't have a lot of clarification on because there are other movies here that have not been dated. Like Armor Wars, like Shang-Chi 2, like The Mutants, maybe. Who knows? Maybe. I thought they're doing, and I still kind of believe this, I feel like they're doing something real fucking weird with Shang-Chi 2 and Kang Dynasty. That's what I think. Eternals 2 could also be a thing. Doctor Strange 3, maybe. Maybe. I'm allergic to bananas, so your shirt is triggering me. Oh, man. Dude, just take an EpiPen or something, bro. You know what I mean? As the swelling builds, you know? So that's kind of interesting. I also feel like a Fantastic Four movie on Valentine's Day. I don't know. What are your thoughts? Anybody? Thoughts? I mean, I guess it kind of depends on, like, are Sue and Reed actually going to be, like, full-on in love? Are they going to be exploring that love story, that family dynamic? Is that something that you want on Valentine's Day? What do you think? No Deadpool Valentine's Day. I know, right? Like, I almost feel like Deadpool would have been the move here, but then I guess you're kind of, like, talking about a bromance, really, right? So, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty damn interesting. We'll see if that plays or not. And again, I am kind of confused because I did think that maybe they were going to do something crazy with Shang-Chi 2 and the Kang Dynasty, like, together or whatever. Who knows for sure if that's actually happening. Now, it says here that Kang Dynasty was not actually pushed. Is that true? So would that mean that Kang Dynasty still has its May date or whatever it was? Is that true? Interesting. So Kang Dynasty isn't moving at all? Damn. Okay. And then Secret Wars itself is just pushing to May the following year. Pretty wild. Again, the Secret Wars thing, I believe most fans were positive on this because they thought to themselves, dude, Secret Wars in 2025 is too soon. There's probably people that still think it's too soon for 2026. I'll tell you that before the pandy, it was going to come out in 2024. Like, before the pandy, Secret Wars, which Marvel has been planning since before Endgame and Infinity War, was supposed to come out in 2024. Right? That just I only say that because I want to show people this is the clip that Feige was operating on. This is what he wanted to do. Okay? So, wild. They pushed it a year into 2025. Now they've pushed it 2 years from its original date into 2026. Probably a good move just because you're going to have to move fucking mountains for this movie. If this movie will live up to the hype that it needs to. And look, we're having a nice kind of happy experience here. I'm not trying to get like toxic, right? But there are unspoken promises about Secret Wars, okay? I'm not trying to divide the room. I don't want to get everybody upset. I don't want to make a lot of people butthurt. But the reality of the situation is, I think if Robert Downey Jr. doesn't come back, if Chris Evans doesn't come back, if Hugh Jackman isn't in that movie, if we don't see the Spider-Man, I think people will fucking riot. I'm sorry, but it's just true. It is an unspoken promise that you need to bring all of them into that film. Okay? And in order to do that, you're going to have to move mountains, dude. Some of those mountains made of cash. To Robert Downey Jr. So you're going to need to do that. On top of that, I do believe that Spider-Man will actually drop in 2024. And I do believe that they will have to pay Tom Holland damn near Robert Downey Jr. money. Maybe not the same, but like you're talking like 30, 40 million a movie. Probably. So you're going to have to back up another mountain of money for Tom as well, right? So I don't know. I don't know. I think a 6-month push for Secret Wars is probably appropriate. I think that year, I'll tell you this. Thank God I didn't rent out the theater already. Can you imagine if I would have put like a down payment on renting out a theater in New York for the date of fucking Secret Wars, and then they moved it? Do you know how triggered I would be? To be honest with you, I'm a little gun shy on even buying out the theater now. Maybe wait a couple years and see where they're going with it. Yeah, 6-month push on that. So now mark your calendars, because we will do a big Nerdvengers screening of Avengers Secret Wars. It's going to be really, really cool. I expect this to probably be the coolest like event thing I've ever done. And it'll be really, really fun. So I hope everybody can try to make it to that, because if you're a fan of the channel, if you're a part of the community, it'll be a very good time. I promise you. We're gonna go have a fucking awesome ass dinner together. We'll get into the theater early. We'll be in there chilling, getting hyped up. We'll watch the movie together, and then we'll make a bunch of content together. We'll have like a live stream that'll have a live audience and shit like that too. It'll be really cool. So just buy a projector and you can have it anywhere. Yeah, that's not true actually. But sure. In New York, probably in New York, maybe in Philly. I'm unsure. But yeah, one of those cities. Both are good cities. So that's kind of the news, man. And that's kind of my thoughts on it. So I guess we can probably get into some other news and just talk about speculation. I mean, they do mention in here the VFX artist much needed additional time. That's a whole nother thing. Marvel and Star Wars, I think, but probably mostly Marvel, because they're just like boom, 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 you know? They need VFX help. They also just built an ILM facility, or they're building an ILM facility in Mumbai, I believe. And a lot of people that I've talked to think that will be to do more visual effects, but it will also be to crack down on spoilers. So you might start getting a lot of in-house visual effects, or I guess kind of in-house, where it'll be ILM doing Marvel stuff, which they still do a lot of Marvel stuff. Keep it mostly in-house and lock that shit down. So there's no spoilers anymore, at least from the visual effects, right? So that's cool. You know what I mean? Like, that aspect of it is pretty damn cool. So I'm into that. Let me see. Is there anything else we need to talk about? Oh, this is kind of interesting here. Apparently, Sacha Baron Cohen will be in Ironheart, and he'll be playing some kind of version of Dormammu, which is really interesting. Will that have a connection then to what's going on with Clea Strange at the end of the film? Pretty interesting. Not really sure. Oh, did y'all see the pictures of Jonathan Majors? What? They don't even have the pictures in here? The fuck? Jonathan Majors jacked as a mother. Holy good God, dude. And some people were saying he put that weight on just for Kang Dynasty. I doubt it. Isn't he in the Creed movie? He probably put it on for Creed. Either way, this dude's fucking jacked, dude. He's jacked on jacked, bro. And that's crazy. And you know, look. I really respect that. It's for Creed. Well, then we as Marvel fans just get the benefit off of Creed. That shit's cool. Listen, I got on pretty boy vampire glowy dude because he didn't want to work out for Batman. Okay? And, you know, we don't have to go down this full ass road again. But the point is, man, I've heard a lot of actors and actresses, by the way, that take the stance of like, I am representing something that fans have this affinity for. I have to do my part to try to look as physically imposing on screen to make fans as hyped up and excited as possible, because part of the joy of watching superheroes do their thing is almost like this perfect physical specimen, this ideal version of like what the human body can do, right? My stance has always been, if you are going to act like, and this is what Hugh Jackman did, right? If you are going to actually commit yourself, because like, especially if you're, let's face it, a fucking theater kid, if you're going to actually get into the gym and like get the job done, you know, and yeah, you'll probably be on gear, but if you're going to put that time in to get that physique, I've got a lot of respect for that. You know what I mean? Like, straight up, a lot of respect, because it's the same reason why in Top Gun it feels so cool, because it's like actual planes, and that's like a part of the selling. It's like you actually like kind of feel it. It's that same vibe where it's like if you're actually that physically imposing, it's cool. You know what I mean? It adds to it. So hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah, Jonathan Majors. Good for you. Let's get it. I think that's probably it. I think that's probably it. Look at this. Look at these ladies in Madam Webb. Oh boy, Madam Webb. Oh boy, Madam Webb. I don't know about that shit. I do not know about that shit, bro. Madam Webb. Anyway. Okay, let's get into the Q&A. Madam Webb next She-Hulk? Oh, hell no. Oh, hell nah, bro. Anyway. Okay, let's get into some of these soupy chats and member chats. Thank you guys so much for the support. Appreciate it. Much love. Also want to shout out Paradox Customs PC sponsoring this stream and all the streams over here. Awesome stuff. Paradox Customs, man, they make some incredible rigs. This PC is just stacked to the gills, and I know a lot of you guys are already upgrading your systems. I always get the emails. Use code NERDVENGERS at checkout if you're going to get a Paradox Customs PC. You save a little bit of money off of their already incredibly lowest in the industry prices. So check that out. Appreciate Paradox Customs. All right, let's get into these. Dodds says, by the way, it's great to see you, Dodds. Says, hope all is well, Josh and Nerd Vengers. Miss y'all. Member for 21 months. Hey, I appreciate that, man. Good to see you. I hope everything's well for you. Mo from the Foe says, my grandma's been out of line since you stopped telling me to slap her up. Can we go back to that, please? Absolutely, you know. Absolutely. But, you know, I did have both of Liam's grandmas, you know, kind of here, like helping out and stuff. And it kind of made me like, you know, maybe I should go a little easier on the grandmas. In fact, I'll say something too. I put this on Twitter, but I'll say it now. I'm going to stop talking so much shit on other content creators during the streams. I'm not going to do it anymore. And part of the reason is because I watched some of Campia's stream yesterday, and I also watched some of Grace's stream when she was breaking down the stuff, and I saw a bunch of Nerd Vengers in their chats. And it just kind of made me realize, I was like, yo, like, yeah, it's probably funny, it's all well and good or whatever, right? But there's probably some of you guys that legitimately cringe every time I, you know, take a shot at John John Campia. You know? So I'm not going to do it anymore. I'm going to try to do better. It's going to take time. You know what I mean? It's going to take time. Both of them follows up and says, this episode is significantly better, but it's not any more Star Wars per se. You still might not like it, to be honest. I probably won't, but maybe I'll check it out just to try to figure out where I'm at with it in good faith. But yeah, I mean, look, man, it's a very like hard thing to try to explain to people, especially Star Wars fans that are goddamn rabid animals. Don't understand. Fucking. Anyway, yeah, no, I'm gonna check it out. Much love, man. Thank you so much. Chibo something or other says, what do you think the remaining Phase 6 movies will be? I'm thinking Spider-Man 4, Shang-Chi 2, and maybe Armor Wars. Yeah, probably all that. Maybe you got a Doctor Strange 3. Maybe you got the Mutants. Maybe you got something with Wanda. I don't know. Will Parker says, member for 6 months, says, hey Josh, have you read the Kang Dynasty event comics? And if so, what did you think? I just started it and I'm really enjoying it. Nerd Adventures for Life. I mean, it's fun. Look, it's a fun event. It's a fun run. It's really cool. Like the way like he comes down, he's got the freaking sword looking spaceship that crashes into Washington, D.C. They can't stop him. It's all crazy. He's like basically takes the world hostage. It's cool. I'm just like trying to figure out like how's that going to go down in the MCU and how's that going to tie into Secret Wars. So it's cool. It's a cool run. D-Lo says, love you, Josh. Can't wait for Nerd Theory again. Yes, we should be back next week, man. By the way, I started to feel even worse last night. Like, man, we had to run around and do some errands and stuff. And then, like, when we got back, like, I was just toast, man. Like, so I don't know what's going on. I hope I'm sure I'll be fine. But Dude, I was like dead ass tired, like didn't feel good, stomach hurt. I was like, yo, I need to chill. So thanks for the well wishes, everybody. Appreciate it. Old Head Mike's Metalcore and More says, what would you think of Kevin Smith directing a Marvel movie? Also, why does no one talk about alllll already being in the MCU as Cottonmouth technically? Well, because I think we all realize that like the Netflix stuff is not actual canon. It's like a soft rebooted version. And especially Luke Cage, because I do not believe Mike Coulter will be back as Luke Cage. Maybe. You know what I mean? Maybe, but I don't think so. You know what I mean? Yeah. And as far as Kevin Smith directing a Marvel movie, I think his comments recently, because he said it would be like a fool's errand because it would like, the fans would be instantly mad. I will say this, particularly for where his personal brand is at right now, I absolutely agree that he should not touch Marvel or Star Wars. There was a time when maybe I would feel confident in that and even be excited by it. But Kevin Smith has gone a really weird, interesting way, just in his life and in his art. And I'm not even a hater, but I just think that where he's currently at right now, it's not the move, and I wouldn't be excited for it. Elijah says, all hail Josh Lucas, first of his name, king of scoopers, ruler of the nerds of the tower and hype, lord of the 7 fandoms and protector of the den. Damn! I'm putting that shit on a t-shirt. And I'm going to be that guy because I'm going to wear that t-shirt and people will be like, that's crazy. Who are they talking about? I'll be like, me. And then I slap them up. Peyton Moore, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you. Make your way around the tower. Strictly Sports Productions says, hey, Josh, what do you think about there not being any MCU movies aside from Sony from July 2023 to August of 2024? Could Armor Wars fill the gap? I think there are several things that could fill the gap. Maybe Armor Wars is that project. Maybe it's Mutants, dude. I mean, like, the other thing that I found interesting about yesterday was everybody was like, all these delays mean probably more time before the Mutants. That's probably the biggest L. And they just need to figure that out. Like, fuck it, fuck that. Bring the Mutants in. Bring the X-Men in. Enough of all this bullcrap. Just bring the Mutants in. So, who knows? Maybe that's what they're doing. Jaboy G says, this is exactly why I simp for Feige. He has such a good pulse on the fandom, and though he can't pivot on a dime, he will course correct. In Feige we trust. Yeah, I absolutely agree. And I think that this move, even though he might not get the credit for it, might be one of the smartest things that they have done in the past couple of years. Straight up. Real OG Sire, again, welcome to the Nerd Avengers. Appreciate you. Quentin says, I expect an award-winning performance in a supernatural film. His rep deserves it. I think that's fair. You're talking about Mahershala, obviously. And yeah, he's crazy, dude. Always liked Mahershala. But then, dude, if you watch that season of True Detective with Mahershala, he plays like himself, but 3 different versions of himself throughout time. I mean, dude, you just get to see the range and you're just like, holy shit, like they're literally operating on another level. So I agree with you. I guess what I was saying before is like, and I know you care about the little golden statue ladies, but a lot of us kind of don't. And a lot of modern fans have kind of moved past that shit. And even though we like the depth of this actor, bro, like that doesn't hold the same weight as like, it's like hard to explain, but like more of the hype, you know, mindset or like the character itself or the craziness, right? Like if we're talking to like Blade 2 after teasing Dracula and some crazy shit like that, then maybe you're talking. But for your first movie out the gate, I mean, Blade's cool, but Blade's not Iron Man. You know what I mean? Blade is not Hulk. You know, Blade is not one of these characters. So I don't know. I just feel like there's a little bit of a disparity between you know, what fans think about that and maybe what he expects of Marvel. Elijah, $20 holla. Holy shit, very generous, man. Says, most of our heroic pop culture myths, Luke Skywalker, Black Panther, etc., are considered nerdy. If the hero journey is a self-evident truth we discover, what makes it nerdy? What makes nerdy things nerdy? Much love. So my answer on this, like, here's my answer on this. Nerdy, to me, and I think you can be all kinds of nerd. So, like, you could be a golf nerd. And what a golf nerd would be is like somebody that could explain to you this new golf ball, why the internal design of this golf ball will make it spin, you know, a little bit differently, and that's going to be advantageous in this kind of a situation or whatever. To me, a nerd is a person that's going to go deep on something. That's going to go very deep on something. So even though I do think that, like, comic book stuff, Star Wars, mythic stuff has the label of being nerdy. I think that's actually just because of like the fact that probably only nerdy people were really into it before. Now it's reached this level of like pop culture relevance that's like, I mean, let's face it, there's a lot of people that watch this stuff that are not really nerdy. You know what I mean? They have a surface level understanding of it, and that's fine because like I'm not here to gatekeep, but like when that's like my personal definition of nerdy. But why does it seem that the most pure interpretation of the monomyth, or why are some of these things like fantasy, science fiction, superheroes, why are some of these genres so much more in tune with the monomyth? That's an interesting question. I don't know exactly why. I would probably suggest, though, that fantasy, imagination, these kind of things are and have been a useful allegory. Do you think that the story of David and Goliath is nerdy? You know what I mean? Do you think the story of Noah or Horus and Set, the Bhagavad Gita, these old do you think these are nerdy stories? Maybe by some stretch of the imagination, but what they really are is just fantastical. You know what I mean? Because exaggeration, for the sake of emphasis, has always been a pillar of storytelling. You know what I mean? So there's your answer. Infection Gaming with a 3-month member chat says, frig yeah, 3-month mark, baby. Kind of sad about the delay in general, but ultimately I think this will be a big win in the long run for all of us. But have you heard anything about Spider-Man 2 game yet? No, I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about the game. Definitely understand your feelings, but I think it will ultimately be good. No, I haven't heard anything about the game. I'll probably play it, but it doesn't come out on PC right away, right? Fuck. Maybe I won't play it right away. I don't know. But yeah, I'll pass along anything that we find out about that. Cameron Rook, member for 15 months, says, Andor was so good last night. I love it when they show lower tier Imperials, so when you see a Star Destroyer, it's a big deal. Interesting take. I'm not sure how to make sense of that. And also, your Big Mac image is making me hungry. Stormy, what up, Stormy? $5 Hollow says, does Punisher deserve a spot on the Midnight Suns? I think he does. Although he has 0 powers, he's a badass that doesn't even move for friggin' demons. Dude, imagine if they did Frankencastle. Because there's a part in the comics where Frank Castle becomes a Frankenstein. And he's literally like an undead. And he is still Punisher, just going around fucking people up. So imagine if they did Frankencastle in the Midnight Suns 4-Blade. I mean, yeah, it's kind of hype. Seems cool. Mike House says, FF, they should be married with kids. Val needed for Secret Wars. I would like that, and perhaps that is what they will do, man. Perhaps that is what they will do. I would like that. Orange Grove 55 with a $5 hollow says, biggest issue with Andor is boring characters. It's Rogue One without K2SO and Vader. Lacks personality. Dude, the dudes like Donnie Yen and his homie were some of my favorite characters in that movie. You know what I mean? I think it's lacking a mysticism. I think it's lacking an emphasis on tone. But that's just me. Talented Mr. Griffin, a member for a year. Holy shit, man. Thanks for the love. Says, with what I know about Feige and Cruz, I just don't see those two playing together in the same sandbox and getting along. Dude, it's so funny you asked. It's so funny you mentioned that. I still think they will. I actually reached out to somebody about that this morning. Here's the thing. You're absolutely right. And it is going to be difficult. Without a doubt, it would be difficult. I actually have one source that told me Cruz is such a dickhead and wants all this control, it'll never work within Feige's system, and he doesn't feel like it'll work. Another source said, no, they'll figure it out. And here's my thing. Tom Cruise is the biggest movie star on the planet. Other than probably Leonardo DiCaprio, he's one of the only actual movie stars that can put people into the theaters. Get them to go check out movies. And Feige being the greatest producer of all time, at a time when you have one of the biggest movie stars of all time, why wouldn't that happen? Why wouldn't they work that out? And the true testament of both of their resolves will be compromise. How will they be able to compromise to make that actually work? So I actually think it's still on the table, but it's very possible it won't work, and I understand your trepidation. Tumbra with a $10 holla says, yo, Josh, my God, just finished Secret Wars, and if they adapt T'Challa and Namor going to Strange's Sanctum to pick up an item up the theater will pop for sure. Yeah, bro, that run is incredible. The Time Runs Out run into it is incredible. The 3-year Avenger run before it is incredible. Jonathan Hickman's shit was dope. It's my favorite 3 to 4 years in comics ever. It was incredible. And so, yeah, if they can bring some of that juice, especially with T'Challa. Whoo, girl. The Exodus. Wait. The Exodus. The $5 holla here says, I've seen a lot of fans say if we don't get Doom facing off with Thanos in variant in Secret Wars, I don't see how we can't. It's like Cap lifting Mjolnir. Yeah, Doom ripping out Thanos' spine on Battleworld is one of the most epic, hyped up moments in that run. And for sure, I think that those are moments that Feige like recognizes as dope because he's just a big sweaty nerd too. And he's like, let's go. Let's bring that in. So, yeah, I'd love to see that. But, frankly, I think that the joke will eventually be on Doom because I think they have plans for King Thanos, Thanos wins, and all that shit coming later. But, yeah, I hear what you're saying, man. Ryan Carter says, with a 20-month member chat, with all respect to your Andor take, triggers casual Star Wars fans vibe from you, tons of prequel material focused on the non-mystical side of the rebellion, and we've been waiting for this content for years. Tons of prequel material. Yeah, I think that's fair. It's also stuff that I didn't like from the EU. Man. Who gets to decide what Star Wars is? Right? Who gets to decide what Star Wars should feel like? I think at the end of the day, if the majority of the fan base embraces the Tony Gilroy vibe of Star Wars, then that's what Star Wars is. But I reserve the right, as an individual, to find that horrifying, to find that confusing, and to reject that as far as my personal enjoyment is concerned. Right? So, I see what you're saying. And it would be super elitist for me to be like, oh, here's why this isn't actually Star Wars. Because again, right? Like, who gets to decide that? I don't think it's me. But I will tell you that if you studied Joseph Campbell, if you've read Sam Keen, if you know what the mono myth is, if you respect mythic storytelling, you'd have to at least acknowledge that that is not what Tony Gilroy is doing. Whether or not you personally think that Star Wars can do that and still be Star Wars, that's fine. That's subjective. But I think you have to call a spade, so to speak, and admit that this is not in a line with many of the things that actually were floating around the mind of a young, probably peyote smoking George Lucas in the 70s, right? It's fine. You know what I mean? I'm not the gatekeeper of Star Wars, but I will speak on how I feel about it. You know what I mean? J Mike Gaming with a $5 house says, bro, the Secret Wars meetup is one of the trips I am so looking forward to more than anything. A bunch of genuine motherfuckers here. Can't wait to party with y'all. Yeah, it's gonna be sick, dude. Well, also, you guys will get to meet Liam, and he'll be like 3, maybe fucking 4 at that point. So you get to meet Liam. We'll all go out for like a nice dinner. It'll be super cool, dude. It's gonna be so fun. I'm gonna plan it. I'm gonna spend a lot of money on that trip. Yeah, that's gonna be really, really fun, man. I'm really looking forward to it. Also, you're the reason I started to watch John Campea. Oh my God. See? There it is. There it is. You know, you never know. Your boy G with a $5 house says, hey, Josh, loving the content. With Blade moving and Spidey 4 eyeing 724, do you see Cap 4 moving up? What title do you think will take the 11/23 date? Could be the Mutants. Yeah, it could be the mutants. I mean, maybe it's a Sony movie, another Sony movie that Feige's working on. Could be Armor Wars. Yeah, I don't know. But it's fun to speculate, so I appreciate the love. Matt says, love the stream. Was wondering how you would feel if they did like special presentation for villains to help build them up and connect them more. Bro, if they did a fucking version of the Books of Doom with Doctor Doom, yes, please. Boner. But, yeah, no, I like that a lot. Thanks for the love, Matt. Purple Funk says, could we see a World War Hulk in between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? Maybe. They could use the various Hulks as another instigator for incursions and build the hype. No Adventures for life. I think you're on to something there. I'm real curious to see what they actually do in She-Hulk in the finale. New World Order. Red Hulk. It's an interesting time. So, yeah, I could see that, man. I would like to get some World War Hulk action going on before we got to Secret Wars, or maybe on Secret Wars, right? Kendall says, are you doing a watch party for Tales of the Jedi? I still haven't decided, man. I'm kind of undecided on it. Look, I'm in a really good mood today, so I'll say I'm leaning towards yes. Leaning towards yes. That's all I can say. Dan says, do you get the vibe that Sony has the skills to avoid hurting the MCU side of the movies? I feel bombs like Morbius hurt the genre as a whole. I agree with you. And no, I don't. I don't have confidence in Sony. I mean, even these shots that we just looked at with Dakota Johnson and Sydney Sweeney all together, where's the fucking costumes? Why are they dressed? Why are these 30-year-old women dressed like 19-year-old TikTokers? What the fuck is going on? Just put them in the cool ass suits, bro. So no, I don't have a lot of hope there. Peyton Moore gave me $1. Didn't say nothing. Probably just checking to see if it works. Thank you. The Exodus says Blade may not be Iron Man, but Iron Man pre-2008 wasn't exactly Spider-Man either. Oh, you're 100% right. Maybe he wants to do for Blade what RDJ did for Iron Man. I understand that, and I think that I understand the spirit of what you're saying, but here's the difference. You've got the Fantastic Four, and you've got the X-Men coming down the road, and Marvel actually redefined the game. So I think of this the same way that I think of the sequel trilogy making shit up as they went along, because I think that was stupid. But a lot of people say, well, that's what George did. And I'm like, yeah, but that's not an equivalence. Like, George was literally creating it. There was no fucking canon other than the first movie after that, right? So you can't just say, oh, well, George did this. It's totally different. The fans are different. The time is different. Star Wars is an established thing, and it's the same thing with Marvel. So I understand what you're saying. I just don't know that you can do that again just because Iron Man did that. You feel me? But I get what you're saying. Peyton Moore says, have been on here more than theory because of lack of Star Wars. You are the reason I am and have been so hyped up for Marvel. Nerdvengers for life. Hey, I appreciate it, Peyton. Look, I hope that Star Wars gets it figured out, and I think they will. I'm just personally at a really bad spot with the brand, and I don't like Andor. But looks like Lars is going to be Thrawn. That's pretty hyped up. There's stuff that, I still like Star Wars, But, yeah, appreciate you, Peyton. Infection Gaming with a $10 holla says, weird question for you. If I made 2 custom Funkos and sent them to you, would you be able to sign one and send it back? I'll pay for all the shipping, the signature, and whatnot. Would be sick. Oh, hell yeah, dude, I'll do that. You telling me I get to keep one? Let's go! Yeah, free of charge. Send it to me. Let's do it. Do you have the P.O. Box address? Somebody in chat will help you out. Jordan with a $5 holla says, I'm hyped for the She-Hulk finale just to see Hulk versus Abomination and Hulk movie tie-ins. Yeah, man. Me too. Me too. Hulk's back. I hope he just rages out, dude. Do you understand how dope it would be if Hulk lost his shit? It went full-on Hulk again? I don't think it's going to happen, but oh my God. Hell yeah. In fact, I'll make you guys a promise right now. If Hulk goes savage tonight, if Hulk freaks out, I will do my best twerking on the stream tomorrow morning. Yeah, that's right. Smokey Kenobi! Remember, for 13 months, says it's 2035. Secret Wars left us in tears. We're deep in the Eternity Saga. What major players do you think will die and or be introduced? Yeah. I believe that Star Fox Eros will be playing a pretty big role. I believe America Chavez will be playing a big role. I believe Blue Marvel will be playing a big role. I believe... Who else? I believe Adam Warlock will be playing a big role. I believe Thanos will be playing a big role. That's all I got for now. But yeah, this is some dope shit for sure. Late Night Alum says, "What's up, Josh? Would make a Guillermo del Toro, God, why can't I pronounce anything? Blade film look like were Feige able to bring him as Blade? Oh my God, that would be incredible because del Toro did direct Blade 2. Gamro, right? Gamro? Guys, help me out here. Gamro? Get me hooked on phonics here. How the fuck do I say the homie's name? Del Toro did Blade 2, and it's fucking awesome, bro. It's fucking awesome. So I'd love to see him kind of come back into the fold, do Blade, and be about that life. But I'm not a Guillermo. Like I said, Guillermo. Man, you guys. Yeah, Guillermo would absolutely love it, man. But I just don't know how likely that is, right? Del Toro's doing his own thing. Del Toro was going to do the Hobbit movies. Y'all remember that? Do you remember when Del Toro was going to do the Hobbit movies? Oh my God, I was so excited for that. And apparently James Cameron talked him out of it. James Cameron was like, you should do your own shit. Fuck you, James Cameron. Anyway, Arlo Court says, been too long since last Nerd Theory. Had to stop by. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, we should be back next week. I legitimately just not feeling good early in this week. Angel Stark says, DD in Spider-Man 4 would be straight heat. Oh, bro, just wait for that Spider-Man video we're going to drop later today. This shit's hyped up. You will like it. You will like it. You will like it. Okay, let's hang out for like 5 minutes in the chat. What else is going on, man? What else are you guys thinking? What else is on your mind? James Cameron, the GOAT? I mean, I do like James Cameron. I'm just mad he took Del Toro Hobbit away. Like, come on, man. You didn't have to do that. Yeah, no. What time is the stream tomorrow? Tomorrow we'll be live at 10:30 a.m. We're not going to do a watch party for... Oh, Bleach? Oh, dude, it was so good, bro. It was so good. You watching Cyberpunk? Oh, yeah, I finished that shit. It was awesome. I'm thinking about what song you'll be twerking to tomorrow. Man, probably like something real old school. And when I mean old school, I mean old school. So something like... Home on the range. Something like that. On YouTube, how can you transfer your money from the analytic lifetime money? I have no idea what that means. Or Baby Got Back. Yeah, that could be a good one. Watch Casablanca. I'm good. That now I have to wait 4 years for Secret Wars. No Fantastic Four, I cry. I know, right? Back that ass up. What are the chances we see Daredevil cast again? Wait, see the Daredevil cast again? I think pretty high. Dude, you got issues, LOL. Yeah, you're probably right. Del Toro should direct everything. I mean, he's really good. Yeah, he's really good. What's my favorite cheese? Probably burrata. And if you have to ask, you can't afford it. We will be in assisted facilities by the time these movies come out. I guess. Fuck, man. As long as I got a big enough screen, wheel us all into the fucking living room. The geriatric nerdvengers unite, you know? What movies do you think we'll get between Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars? I couldn't tell you. I mean... Maybe the 10 Rings, maybe a World War Hulk. I'm not really sure. Do you do YouTube full time? Yes, I do. Papa, you watching any of the Phillies game that's going on right now? Or that's going on? No. Josh will be like Viserys. Absolutely. Covered in oil? 100%. Your daughter will be 8? Dude, that's really cool, man. Lucas Kelly says, I'm talking about the money that you made from analytics from all the ads. Yeah, what are you, my fucking accountant? What is this? What is this, Lucas? What is this energy? I don't understand. Max Ross says, I got you, Josh. Take my hand to pronunciation land. That's really nice, man. He's going to send me like Hooked on Phonics or something? That would be a funny gift. Beyonder says, told the guys over at Planet Fan Attacks that I mentioned them to you. The host was appreciative, especially being a fan of yours. Oh, that's cool, man. That's cool. Hell yeah, that's sweet. You were right about Susan, by the way. She walked past me in the hallway, and she smells like ointment. Yo, that's sick. That's funny. I say we betroth Liam and my daughter Emma. She's 1.5, not a bad age gap. Also, I'll pay for the wedding in 20 years. Well, let's just see how they do together. You know, maybe they'll meet up at the Secret Wars thing, and we'll see. Why do the Pirates suck? Because they can't really recruit. They farm. Bad management over time. I mean, you know. Hot D hype. Yeah, I think that this next episode of Hot D is going to be ridiculous. I think wasn't that the pattern? Episode 9 is always like ridiculous. Isn't that the deal? Episode 9, like back in the day, wasn't episode 9 like all the crazy episodes? Kenny Pickett looks worse than Trubisky. I mean, that's true. Yeah. Hey, Josh, where's your loincloth? Can you wear one for Halloween? No. Yo, Lucas Kelly, you are on one, bro. It was titties, bro. Penultimate. Yes, I believe it's the penultimate. Loincloth. Are you excited for UFC 280? Bro, I'm so excited for that. Next weekend's going to be awesome. So we're going to a wedding this weekend. Okay. Next weekend is Elisa's birthday. And so we have a whole fun Saturday planned. My cousin and my aunt are coming into town, and they're going to help watch Liam for her birthday. So we're going to go out, have a really good day. And then we're going to come back, and all of us are going to watch the UFC at the house. So it'll be really, really cool. Yeah. Josh, you say Hot D is better, or you say Hot D is better. You think they can give Red Wedding Battle of Bastards kind of stuff? Oh, dude, yeah. I think it's going to be even better than all of that. And I think it's going to be for, like, steady seasons. I mean, George said yesterday that they are probably going to do at least 4 seasons, which is awesome. Also, yeah, there's just a lot of good stuff going on in the Game of Thrones world right now. Blackwater is still top 6 GOT. Yeah, it is, for 100%, yeah. Yeah. Way bigger than that. The Dance of the Dragons will be more intense. Yeah, I agree. I think it'll be pretty fucking awesome. Josh, over under 90%. Ali is out as a Blade. No, way under. You know, I don't think he wants to walk away, but I do think he is literally that frustrated with the process. It would be a huge L for Marvel if he walked away. I think it would be a bad look for him, too. Wait, what? UFC 280 starts at 2 p.m. because they're in Abu Dhabi? No! Fuck! Oh, no! Maybe I'll just watch it later. Because I can get the pay-per-view and just watch it later, right? Although if we're at the casino, people are going to just be talking about it. Ay. Okay, well, I'm going to have to figure it out. Fuck! Shit. I saw the clip where King Joffrey spoiled Rhaenyra's fate. Yeah. Stream it? What? Stream the UFC? I don't know about that. George R. said we wanted to make it up to season 10, but HBO just spat in his old face. Yeah, probably true. Scooper King must know some secrets. Tell me all of the secrets. Nah, but I might spill some tea at 1 p.m. for the Nerd Vengers. Oh, okay. I got to get out of here. Much love to you. Thank you for another hyped up stream, another great morning. I appreciate you all for being here, watching, sharing, smashing like, sending super chats, being a member. It means a lot to me. You could be anywhere else doing any other thing right now, but you're here, and I really fucking appreciate it. So thank you. Much love to you all. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video. Chet, what the fuck was that? I need way better play out music, man. That was trash, bro. Is everybody gone? Did everybody leave? Hang on, I'm gonna sneeze. Hang on. Okay. All right, we're good. Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up? You guys are here for the post-credit scene. Oh, everybody got up and walked out of the theater, but you're here for the post-credit scene. Except it's not going to be one of those good post-credit scenes. It's going to be it's done. So you stayed to the post-credits. That kind of a post-credit scene. Yeah. Yas, queen. Yas. Yeah, Yas, queen. Let's see here. Do I have anything that I would really want to say? Is there anything I really want to talk about? Oh shit. Okay. I'll say something that's really crazy. Okay, it's a really crazy scoop. Really crazy scoop. And I'm gonna tell you. And we just gotta keep it between us. Don't talk about it. Don't. Okay, here it is. Are you ready? There's another crazy Fox character